moved into Brooklyn and we're standing here at the Callador Cafe. We're about to have a nice bite to eat. Fabulous little place here. And we're waiting to speak to Kazi Rolle. If you check out Kazi Rolle, that's K-A-Z-I, or the Hip Hop Project on the Bahamas Weekly, you'll learn lots about this Bahamian young man who's really making great strides here in the US of A. There's been a film made about his life. That'll be coming right up.
All right, peace and love, y'all. I am Kazi. I'm here in Brooklyn, New York. Bedford-Stuyvesant, do or die, and just giving a big shout out to all my peoples down in the Bahamas. I was born at Princess Margaret Hospital, and I grew up in foster care. My mother left me at 6 months, and I spent about 5 years at the Children's Emergency Hospital before being adopted by Catherine Brown, and lived with her family for about 9 years, but went back to the Ranfley home where I stayed there for a short time before migrating to New York City to meet my biological mother, and I've been here ever since. The Hip Hop Project came about October 16, 1999. I had just came out of high school, and one of my mentors asked me what would be a dream for me or something that would keep me going to school, and I said if there was a place that we could use hip-hop to engage young people, and he asked me what that would look like. I jotted all my ideas down, and with his support, his name was Scott Rosenberg, with his support I was able to start a program that engaged young people all over New York City by connecting them with professionals in the music industry, and they got to write, produce, and market their own hip-hop album. And along the way, a lot of notable folks heard about it and supported the idea, from Jay-Z to Russell Simmons, Bruce Willis, Queen Latifah. And it was definitely a blessing that something that I had a dream, and I went out, and anybody that would listen, I would tell them. And people saw that passion and loved the idea. And at that time, a lot of programs now are doing it, but at that time, it was very much like nobody was doing anything like that. So being that it was something innovative and something that was needed to engage young people in what they love, in their interest, to teach them things that they really need, as well as get more and more professionals out there giving back and mentoring. And that's kind of the gist of the program. And I was blessed that Bruce Willis and Queen Latifah did a movie about it, and I got to share my story as well as the stories of these young people with the world. October 16th of this year, 2009, I will be celebrating, or Hip Hop Project will be celebrating its 10-year anniversary. So we're going to do a big event here, as well as just kind of recommitting ourselves and our volunteers and our community to the work. Even though we've had a certain level of success, the work goes on. And so now we've moved from an after-school program to being a program that works with national organizations to kind of consult them on how to engage young people using hip-hop, as well as we do a lot of artist residencies where we put different hip-hop artists into the schools to do a 10-week residency. And we also are working to with national organizations around education reform. And I travel all over the world kind of sharing this new model that a lot of folks are looking to kind of integrate into their system, because across the planet we have more and more kids who are not engaged in the institutions of learning, because it's a new day and, you know, kids want something different, and hip-hop is kind of that thing that all young people are into. And if we merge those two together, think that kids would be more engaged in the education process. I'm on everything. You can get me on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace. You could Google me, Kazi Rolle. But the best ways are, first, my website, chriskazirolle.com. That's CHRISKAZIROLLE.com. Or you can go to the Hip Hop Project website, thehipopproject.org. And then from there, you can find us on everything else. I love relationships, primarily because maybe if my mother and father had a better relationship, then I would have not had the life that I had. Though I don't regret it, I realize, I call it the superhero theory, that we have a challenge in our life to give us the kind of drive to go out in the world and save other people like a superhero from that particular thing. So what I do now is that I engage different communities by creating a space for men and women to come together and talk about relationships. I didn't know sometimes we learn good and bad things from our parents, and they didn't know, so it's kind of a cycle. So I think we need to talk more and have real conversations, and multi-generational, multicultural, both genders coming together and just talking about relationships. I have live events where I bring people together through performance and through art, and just guided interactive conversation. We talk about relationships, but I also engage folks via the internet. On my Facebook page, I put out a question every day, and folks comment, and even when folks don't comment, other people are looking and getting information about something that may be pressing on their heart, or people will mail me a question and I'll put it up there. The whole goal is to find something that you're passionate about in your own life, and look at something that's out there in the world and just do your part. If you really want to make a mark on the world, on grow as a person, may be a blessing to somebody else, and that's my way of doing it. And any